We're going to go live in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Tucson Convention Center. It is halftime here between the Northern Arizona Wranglers and the Tucson Sugar Skulls. Our halftime score this evening, 20-17. Guys, the Wranglers got back into this ball game right there at the end of the first half with a huge play right here in front of the broadcast booth.
Yeah, what an exciting touchdown pass from Verlon Reed Jr. to James Brandia-Hop right before the halftime. Long touchdown pass got the Wranglers right back into it. 2017, as JP mentioned, and Brandon Fisher came in big with 2 big extra points and a field goal. So in his first game with the Northern Arizona Wranglers, Brandon Fisher is paying dividends from a special team standpoint, Kev.
Yeah, that's the pride of Bradshaw Mountain High School and the pride of Prescott Valley, really. Fish doing a nice job there, making it look easy. But let's be honest about that last play, a 36-yard scoring play. It was Verlon Reed Jr. with some time, good protection up front, and nice release to James Brandia-Hop in stride. And then what does he do? He takes it the distance 36 yards later after a nice little scoot down the sideline with a few shake and bakes in there. He finished the play, guys. That's what was critical. He finished the play. And then you mentioned Fish, true for the PAT. Brand new ball game here at the halftime. And one thing that we could take away from the Sugar Skulls in the previous matchup and a lot of what they've done this season is they start really fast, and they seem to struggle in the second half. So Dixie Wooten has some work to do to slow down the Wranglers. Can you imagine us saying that? Slow down Northern Arizona.
It's
here
great to hear you say that, yes.
That's exactly right. That was a heck of a play call on that last touchdown right there. The defense really got drawn up. They bit on that play fake there, and Brandia-Hop was wide open in the middle of the field. And you could tell as soon as he turned upfield, he was looking nothing but end zone, and he scored that ball in a hurry. A fantastic job getting right back into this game at the end of the half.
Just a great route, right? And then, like I said, the finish. That was really a great point. And that's just going to turn things around here. You talk about old Uncle Mo. We mentioned that on several other broadcasts too. But the Wranglers go into the locker room here at the break feeling good about themselves. They've come back from, 20-10 here. And it is, like I said, it's a brand new ball game here.
And, fellas, what I love about this football team, there's no quit in this football team. No matter what the deficit is, they continue to come back. Yes, Verlon Reed Jr. threw a pick six early to Delando Boyd, but they kept fighting and they came back. Skylar Clinton got a touchdown run. I love the way Rob Brown is running the football. I love the way this defense is continuing to stay aggressive. Corey Murphy's going to make plays. They're going to make plays because the Sugar Skulls have talent on that side of the offense. But as long as you continue to just have amnesia, forget about that play. If you get a big play played on you, just play to the next stop. Play until the next whistle comes. That's what the Northern Arizona Wranglers defense and offense and special teams are good at. They just continue to evolve and build off of mistakes. They have mistakes. They're human, but they just cleaned up and just go on for the next play.
You mentioned the short memory, and that's exactly what they have to have. Coaches were a little bit frustrated on there. Some of the calls they felt not going their way during the first half, but they know that those things are going to come. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. These guys know how to weather the storm and keep fighting and keep battling, as you mentioned.
Absolutely. Kev, you got some numbers?
Landrick Brody serving as the head coach once again this week. So what is this, week number 4 for Landrick? Maybe he's starting to get a little bit more comfortable. He's animated out there, right? He lets those officials know that Landrick Brody's in charge. He's the one calling the shots on the field for the Wranglers right now. So it's interesting to see just a change in the mojo down on the field that we've seen. Of course, we missed Coach B from a couple weeks back. But, here's the biggest stat of the first half. You talk about the running game and the success with that run game. What does that do? It opens things up when you want to throw the ball down the field. And that was a short route that was turned into a huge play. But it's the time of possession in this one. 23 minutes, guys, to almost 7 for the Sugar Skulls. That is dominating the football. And so can they continue to build on that here in the second 30?
And, fellas, what I like about this, I see these total offense. The Wranglers ran 28 plays to Tucson 7. Is that right?
Yeah, and that's,
am I not seeing that right?
This is what you're getting. That's how you get your time of possession. Your top 23 minutes, they just dominated possession of the football, and they turned it into 17 points. And as you mentioned, Verlon Reed Jr. a pick 6. So the Wranglers spotted the Skulls 6 with the point up. And the point good after that. It was a 7-point play. That's a huge swing, and they've dug themselves out of that hole.
It is. It's all about adjustments, fellas. We all know about that. But, yes, 28 plays to Tucson 7. Tucson only has 80 yards of offense. JP, I love 4 for 6 on third down. So the Wranglers are getting chances, and they are converting on offense, which is a great thing you want to see as Verlon Reed Jr. and all of his guys, all of his weapons continue to get together and learn each other and just continue to learn as the game goes on and they continue to get better.
Exactly right. We'll see if the Wranglers can ride that momentum that they got there at the end of the first half into the second half. You mentioned the great difference in time of possession. A lot of that is credit to the offensive line up front, making things happen, paving the way, giving some running lanes for these running backs, and then giving Verlon Reed time to throw the football.
Yes.
I thought Verlon started this game a little bit slow. It seemed like he was out of rhythm. He was uncharacteristic. A couple balls that were behind some receivers, a couple towards the turf, but he seemed to relax a little bit as he started to move the football. That is something that this Wrangler offense has missed the last couple of weeks, and that is the dynamic of Verlon Reed Jr. running the football. He's taken some opportunities, few more liberties here of taking and calling his own number 3, and he's delivered running the football. You give him the numbers here. He's got 34 yards on 4 attempts. So in games previous to that, he hasn't been there, and that run game hasn't been there for the quarterback. So Verlon Reed Jr., when he can get out of that containment of the pocket and get on the outside, he can make some plays with those legs. We've seen it before, and he did it against the Sugar Skulls team that set up that game-winning touchdown in their first win, that 48-44 victory.
Of the 152 yards that Northern Arizona has, Verlon Reed Jr. is responsible for 123. So that shows his importance to the offense.
Absolutely. It was great to see Skylar Clinton, a guy I mentioned in the pregame, getting some positive things happening for the football team in the first half, so I'll look for him to continue that here in the second. Is there anyone, guys, that you like to see step up here in the second half and really get this Wranglers team over the hump for win number 2?
Well, Skylar Clinton, his 4th touchdown, his 4th rushing touchdown. So he continues to be that goal line runner, provides a little bit more pop and power than Rob Brown. Obviously, Rob Brown set it up with a nice run of his own. So Skylar Clinton, he just brings an attitude to this game, right? He brings what we call tempo to this football game, and I just love his passion for how he plays. And for a guy that wasn't on this original roster, he has really blossomed into a really good football player. And we know that Skylar Clinton wants to play at that next level, and he's doing everything that he can that to give himself an opportunity. He's getting some good tape of number 15 right there.
KD, the guy you mentioned in the pregame, Todd Athey, his name is not on here on the receiving list. I expect Todd Athey to have a much better second half than the first half. You talked about the issues that Verlon Reed Jr. was working through as far as his rhythm and his timing and getting himself together, getting himself more comfortable. So I expect number 4 to have a much bigger second half and much more of an output than he had in the first half, which was nothing.
Let's be honest, though. TA was targeted 3 times, Ed, and he did have what looked to be a touchdown reception there, but then there was one of those kind of an interesting call in the middle of the field where apparently one of our guys maybe drifted downfield just a bit too long. No, I beg your pardon. I actually did get word on that particular play through Coach Hudak, and he told me that the call that he heard on the field through the headset was that it was a wide receiver for the Wranglers, in this case Athey, used the referee as a screen to get free. And I want to know why that is a penalty. That's called using the pawns on the field, if you will. He was going around that obstacle. I don't know why you job Athey and the Wranglers because of the official there, but
that's exactly what that is a job right there, Kevin, because as far as I'm aware, the referee is indeed a part of the field of play. So definitely an interesting turn of events there in the first half, an exciting first half. Make sure and stay. I would like to say stay with us for the second half, but we're not on the call tonight, but we're so pleased to be bringing you some halftime update here, and stay with us. We'll be with you during the post game for a wrap up here from the Tucson Convention Center. At halftime, it's the Tucson Sugar Skulls on top of the Northern Arizona Wranglers by the score of 20-17. Make sure and stay on the Sugar Skulls broadcast YouTube network for the second half of the game, and we'll be right back here with you for the post-game wrap-up right here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers YouTube channel. For Ed Cole and Kevin Derryberry, I'm James Poovey saying so long for now. We'll see you in 30 more minutes.
And once again, I've got to run, ladies, boys. Give me.